In this video, I will rewire your brain into thinking GTA 5 is an actual fun game again. Don't believe me? From jumping out of a private jet full of strippers, to hanging out of windows while doing wild drive-bys, and even stealing flat screen TVs right out of people's homes. Yeah, I know, this is exactly the video you've been looking for while trying to eat your food. Well, I've got you covered. Today, we're going to remaster GTA 5 as a whole. Let's not waste any more time and get straight into the first mod. Despite GTA 5's driving being fun, there's not much fun about it. Let me explain. Driving cars itself is fun, and being able to customize it to our liking is even more fun. But with those two combinations, you pretty much sum up GTA 5's driving physics. But that's no longer the case, because we have Drive V. This mod makes driving feel much more like the previous game. Cars feel heavier now instead of feeling like a Hot Wheel glued to the ground. Crashing actually gives way more visible damage, and it's way scarier to drive. Now, driving a sports car through the desert feels way more challenging, and you can even get stuck in the mud. I'll never be able to do this mod justice by talking about it in this video. There's just too many features. I highly suggest checking out a detailed video linked in the description if you'd like to know more. Now check this out. This is the GTA 4 drive-by animation mod, and I know this gets y'all down memory lane cause it certainly do for me. It completely changes how intense gunfights from within your car feel. Certain scenes look like they're straight out of a Michael Bay movie. Rockstar took so many good features out of GTA 5, but don't worry, we'll touch on that later. Now let's talk about breaking into houses and stealing everything that isn't ours. Because with the Robbery mod, you can actually do that. Here's how it works. You'll report to the boss, who lines you up with targets. Once he's found the perfect spot, you'll get a text with all the details, and from there, it's game on. There are 3 types of houses: low tier, mid tier, and high tier. Each one comes with its own challenges and loot, from TVs and stereos to safes and priceless art. You'll never know what you find. Now here's where it gets tricky. If you're loud, like stomping around and setting off the noise meter, the risk will skyrocket. But that's just the start. Forget to disable the alarm in time, it will start blaring and the cops will be there in no time. And if there's people inside of the house and you kill them without a suppressor, the neighbors will hear it and call the cops as well. Bottom line, stay quiet, stay quick, or get ready to run. After robbing a house, you'll face a choice. Risk it and take on more jobs while keeping your loot in your car, or play it safe and bring it to a loot place called Defense and sell it off. It's all about weighing the risk versus reward. Push your luck or cash in while you can. You remember how I just said GTA 5 missed out on some great features from GTA 4? Well, let's fix that. Say glowing pickups, for example. Dropped weapons now have a nostalgic glow, just like the old game. Some love it, some don't. I think it's a great throwback. Remember when people actually feared guns in GTA? This mod brings that back. Aim at someone and they'll step out of their car with their hands up, just like in GTA 4. I remember as a kid watching those hilarious GTA 4 drunk compilations and loving every second of it. This mod perfectly captures that vibe. Stumbling around, barely keeping balance, it's chaotic, unpredictable, and just fun. Alright, last GTA 4 glaze, I promise. So I ran into this drunk guy and things got heated, and as I'm beating him up, he starts making these discomforting faces like he's feeling every hit. But here's the thing, usually when this happens in GTA 5, pedestrians immediately die. But with this mod, pedestrians don't just stay down. After a while, they'll actually get back up, just like in GTA 4. It's such a small detail, but it adds so much personality to the game, and I honestly don't know why Rockstar didn't keep this in GTA 5. Alright, next up, we got this mod that fixed a ton of little things in GTA 5, and one of them standout features being disarming. You can now knock people's weapons out of their hands by hitting their weapon or arm, but it doesn't stop there. Enemies can disarm you too. If they hit your gun with a bullet, it will go flying out of your hands now. I couldn't get this to happen naturally because it's super rare, but luckily I've got Pablo here at the range trying to help me demonstrate. This mod also fixes that annoying ragdoll physics when standing on vehicles. Now, instead of falling off at the slightest movement, you can stay balanced even on a moving car. So I got home after a long day of work, thinking I'd finally get some peace, but then I saw them, the tennis rackets, a cruel reminder of my emasculation. betrayal staring me right in the face. Fueled by rage and this mod's ability to let me sprint indoors, I did the only logical thing, angry laps around the couch to process my emotions. But then I realized, some problems just can't be fixed by running. So I grabbed my shotgun, ran upstairs, and dealt with her. Thanks to this mod allowing friendly fire. Jesus, man, this video is progressively getting more unhinged. Talking about unhinged, let's play Russian roulette with some random pedestrians. Yes, you heard that right. You sit down, spin the chamber, and just hope for the best, or the worst, depending on how you're feeling. With the action gear mod, you get a handy inventory wheel for quick access to meds, armor, food, and even clothes. As you can see, I'm just cycling through the options here, grabbing a med kit, tossing a hat, and even munching on some hot dogs. It's all simple and fast, you just have to press X. Looting works the same way. Depending on who you loot, you'll find different items. I spent a while looking for something valuable, but you'll have to test that out for yourself since I didn't find anything. And when you need to gear up for low light situations, the night goggles are just one click away, which is amazing for the next mod we're about to cover. Alright, so this mod is called Convoys and Other Hits, and it's one of the most chaotic mods I've ever tried. The concept is simple. You're going after heavily guarded convoys, stealing their cargo, and delivering it somewhere else. The missions are intense. One moment, you're taking out a VIP like Madrazo, and the next, you're going head to head with Merryweather. And if you're feeling brave, there are even optional challenges you can try, like staying in first person the whole time, not dying, or finishing under 5 minutes. And let me just say, they're not easy, but they add a ton of replayability. Let's shift gears and talk about some smaller mods. Starting with epic explosions. This mod makes every single blast way more dramatic. Grenades, bigger RPGs, well, you get the idea. And speaking of chaos, let's talk trains. With the Railroad Engineer mod, you can finally derail trains. Yup, you heard that right. Blow them up and watch them come crash off the tracks. It's a feature we've all secretly wanted, and now it's here. Ever felt like GTA 5 was a bit too closed off, with so many buildings you just couldn't enter? The Enable All Interior mod changes that by opening a huge number of interiors for you to explore. Next up is Player Zero, a mod that turns GTA Story Mode into a bad sport GTA Online lobby. Grievers, MK2 oppressors, and non-stop chaos, it's all there. There are even people chatting and pulling off that weird leaving glitch where the whole lobby just dips on you out of nowhere. I don't know what that is good for at all because these people are obviously not real. But it's very chaotic, it's annoying, and if you're bored of the usual story mode, this mod will definitely shake some things up. I also made 2 quick tweaks. One makes the weapon wheel smaller, and the other one removes the slow motion effect while having your weapon wheel out. Oh, and I also threw in this mod that replaces the deer with horses. It's such a random change, but it's honestly kinda cool to see horses roaming around instead. Alright, let's switch gears. I've added custom weapon models to freshen up the loadout, and on top of that, I've downloaded a custom weapon sound mod to make everything hit harder. Links for both of those will be in the mod sheet. And here's where things get really satisfying, a complete ragdoll overhaul. NPCs now react with a chaotic, weighty physics and make every counter feel more impactful, just like the good old days. Next up, we've got a mod that makes NPC accuracies much more realistic. Now you'll notice that NPCs are way less accurate at night, and cops will be sharper shots than, for example, gang members, making shootouts feel much more natural. You can fine-tune it all if you want a more intense gunfight or a more relaxed one. That's all up to you. As a small change, I downloaded the manual gun pickup mod, so now you have to actually press a button to grab a weapon instead of automatically picking them up while walking over them. So I got this mod that lets you pick up bodies, tie them up, and load them into the trunk of your car, which is a pretty cool addition for those who want a little extra realism. Now I've had some, let's call them creative moments, where things just didn't go as planned. But to show you how it's really supposed to work, I'll put some footage up on the screen. It's a neat little feature and I really like this. I always thought carrying around a pre-broken bottle inside of your pocket was kind of a weird idea, but breaking it yourself, now that's amazing. And the best part about this mod, after smashing it, you can still use the broken bottle to stab people. Simple, brutal, and oddly satisfying. We also added a chainsaw to the game, but before you can start using it in free roam, you've got to complete a kill frenzy challenge down at the beach. The task? Take out 10 people in under a minute, and while you're at it, you'll see just how brutal things can get, grabbing NPCs, cutting through them like it's nothing. Once you've completed the challenge, the chainsaw is all yours. You can now roam free roam and start doing whatever you like with it. Honestly, a great mod and definitely one of my favorites in this list. And to close this whole thing out, I decided to turn Trevor into the Joker. Cause let's be real, they got some resemblance.
Look, this is all I've got, all right? I had a tough upbringing. My daddy was not nice to me, okay? And look, Deborah, I love you, and I love you too, Floyd. Why can't we all just be together, huh?
Well, we can be together. Inside of my Discord server, you'll find the link to each and every single mod listed in this video. I also just set up a PayPal for those who want to show some extra appreciation, but keep in mind, this is entirely optional and not necessary at all. It's just there if you feel like it. Alright, goodbye.